Hey everybody, this is Noah with Learn Meta Analysis, and in this video I'm going to show you how to connect Mistral, one of the major LLM providers, using their latest models via the API. So this isn't going to be occurring locally on your computer. This is going to be sending out a request to their servers for data, but we're going to connect our local Zotero or any other folder that we have tons of academic papers in. We're going to connect all those papers to that large language model so we can have a personalized research assistant here on our computer. So there's a couple different steps that we are going to need to do this. So first and foremost, we're going to need Ollama. I have other videos that are linked down in the description on how to install Ollama. I'm going to assume that you have done that already. Second, we need to use WebUI, which is what you can see here. Again, I have a video on how to do this. I've included it down in the description for you so that you can easily watch that to learn how to install that. There's no coding in regards to either of those. It's basically simple copy paste or just click a download button. So quite simple. Once you get WebUI installed, it will look something like this, okay? And you can see right now, it's already showing that I have Mistral going on up here. But there's a couple more steps that I want to show you to really help us out. Now, the first thing that we are going to do is we are going to go to the Ollama site and we are going to download an embedding model. So we are going to look for Snowflake Arctic Embed 2. This is my favorite embedding model right now and it's working awesome for academic papers. So what you're going to want to do if you've never done this before is copy this little line here on the right. You're going to copy that and you're going to go into your command line. I'm on a PC. If you're on a Mac, then it would be terminal, I believe. And I'm just going to copy paste that in. So it says Ollama pull Snowflake Arctic Embed 2. Now I already have this, so I'm not going to do it right now. But when you click enter on that, it's going to download that for you and you'll see progress as it goes. Once you have that, we have everything pretty much set up that we need to make this work. So we're going to go back to WebUI now. So from here, the first thing that we're going to want to do is build our knowledge base. So if you go to Workspace and go to Knowledge, you can see that I have a couple knowledge folders here already, right? But what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new one for the purposes of this. And before we do this, we need to actually set up some settings. So let's go to the admin panel. So we go into the admin panel and then we go into settings. Now let's go into documents. Okay, so here in documents, you can see that there's a couple things that I've changed that are probably different from what you see inside of your WebUI if this is the first time that you've ever used it. So if you have never used this before, this is going to be set on transformers, sentence transformers, rather than Ollama. You want to change that to Ollama. Next, I set my batch size at 1. I don't have a great reason for this, I just did. Next, we're going to scroll down and it says here embedding model. And remember, we just downloaded Snowflake Arctic Embed 2. So that's the model that I have entered here and you have to enter it just like this. Next, I go down to query parameters. Now the top K you can set as whatever you want, but I found really good results for academic work with it around 20. Next, I have a RAG template. So I will put a link to this in the description as well, so you can just copy paste it. I found this works much better for me than the default one in the system. Next, I have my chunk size. I have 3000 and I'm using characters, which is the default rather than tokens. And last but not least, my chunk size is still 100 and actual last but not least, I have OCR turned on. So if this is the first time you've ever set up those things, go ahead and hit save. Next, we want to go back to our workspace up here in the top left. We want to go to knowledge and here we want to click plus and create a new knowledge base. So I'm just going to call this 1, 2, 3, 4, or I guess 1, 2, 4, 3. And I'm going to do the same thing here. And I always just change this to private, even though it should be anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and click create. And now you can connect this to literally any folder on your computer. So let me show you how to connect this to your Zotero or any other folder collection that you want to use on your computer. You should probably be able to do this with Mendeley or Google Drive or literally whatever, wherever you save all your PDFs, you can probably link it with this. So what I'm gonna do here is go to upload directory. So the first thing that I usually do is scroll down and start at my kind of the highest level of the computer of this PC. Then I'm gonna go to local disk. Then I'm going to go to users. I'm going to go to Noah because that's my username where I have Zotero saved. And if I scroll down to the bottom, you can see it's got Zotero folder. I'm going to click that. And then Zotero stores everything in this storage folder. So I'm just going to click storage and you can see there's a whole bunch of different files here. I'm going to actually just click select, and it would select all of those, and it would start uploading all of the PDFs that are within those files. For the purposes of this, I'm not going to do that though, because that would take a substantially long amount of time because I have over 1,000 articles in there. So instead, for the purposes of now, I'm just going to show you my current knowledge base of Zotero, which is over here. So this is what we're going for. Let me show you what we want to be able to do. What we're going to do is we're going to use Mistral large or Mistral small, whichever Mistral model we want to use. I'm going to use hashtag to call my collection. That's what they call our database. I'm going to use my Zotero one. And I'm going to say, write a summary about social agency theory in relation to pedagogical agents. It's going to go through all my papers in the collection. And I mean, technically speaking, it's looking at a vector database, but that's okay. So, and then it's going to write this here. So the interesting thing is that generally speaking, the citations in here are pretty stinking good for in-text citations. So let's see what it says. This can activate social conversation schema. Yeah, and this is from this paper in 2003. I don't remember this paper or this paper, so I can't speak to those off the top of my head. Small positive effects, yes, was from this paper. It's missing the date, but that was 2013. And I don't remember either of these two papers well enough off the top of my head to tell you if that's accurate or not. But my point is that generally speaking, my in-text citations have been pretty good using the Mistral models. So now let's talk about what we need to finish getting this set up. So far, we have, well, not in this video, but hopefully as you've gotten this set up, you have installed Ollama, you have installed WebUI, and we've downloaded the Snowflake Arctic Embed 2, and then you've uploaded all of your files to that folder. And note that that's going to take a while, depending upon how many files you have. Like, I think I have like 1,400 in there, and it probably took 4 or 5 hours on my machine to get all of those updated, uploaded, and embedded into the vector database. So the next thing that we need to do is we need to go get an API key for Mistral. So the way that we do that is we take a little adventure over to their website. So I'm going to close Ollama here, and Mistral.ai is their website. I'm going to leave a link in the description. And when you log in, you will see a thing that looks something like this. Okay, this is the console. The address is console.mistral.ai. And so this is what it looks like. To get your API key, you're going to go over here on the left and just click on API keys. And then right here on the right, it's going to have create new key. Now, something that you should be aware of is they have different tiers of subscription. One of them is currently called experimental, and it is free. So I'll show you what that looks like on my settings page. When I set mine up, I set it up as this free account. So when I go in here, you can see it says my current plan is called Experiment, access without paying, and the trade-off for that is API requests can be used to improve their services. I am okay with that for being able to use this for free, but make sure that you meet the terms and conditions that they have for these different plans. So that said, we're going to go back to API keys. I would hit create new key. It's going to pop up. It's going to give me a key that's a really long string of numbers. I'm not going to show you one right now because it would, you guys could use it, and I don't necessarily want that. So you go create your own API key, and you're going to copy that. You need to keep your API key secure and private, by the way. So copy your API key. So now we're going to go back over to Open WebUI. Okay, and over here on the right-hand side, it's got this picture of like a little head, basically, a little person. So we're going to click that, and we're going to click Admin Panel. From here, we're going to go to Settings, and then we're going to go to Connections. Now the first one here is OpenAI API, and it says Manage OpenAI Connections, and it has this address here for OpenAI. That's great, but I don't have an OpenAI API key. I don't want to use that. I want to use Mistral. So what I did is I clicked the little plus button over here to add a connection. And when you do that, you're going to get a window that looks something like this. So for URL, this is the URL that I used. Under Key, this is where I copy pasted my API key. And then under model IDs, you have two choices. One, you can just leave it blank, but if you do that, it's going to give you all of the models available under the API. And that's great, other than some of them are a little bit redundantly named, and it was just a little bit overwhelming for me. I didn't need access to all of them. I only foresee myself using a couple of them. So what I did is I grabbed the exact model name off their website. I'm going to leave a link in the description to that, but for now, I'll just show you real quickly what that looks like. So, whoops. When we go here and we scroll down, you can see here's what Mistral Large Latest points to. Here's what Pixtral points to, etc. So I just copied this from Mistral Large Latest. I just copied that, and I put that into Open WebUI as a model ID. And then I clicked plus to add another one. And the ones that I find myself using the most are Mistral Large Latest, Mistral Small Latest, and CodeStral Latest. And then I just click Save. And when you go back to new chat, if you've done everything correctly, you should see your models available here. I do want to point out, it does have this little chain link looking thing here. It looks like a piece of chain. That is to indicate that this is external. So this is not happening locally on your machine. Okay, so when you send a request to Mistral Large or Mistral Small latest like this using this API, this is sending information to their servers. This is not a fully local solution. So let me show you again, just one more time, how we do this. So I'm going to show you Mistral Small. And to call my Zotero collection, I called it Zotero. So I do hashtag and then Zotero. Now everything it's going to, I shouldn't say everything, but it's going to reference that database of information when it answers my question. So I'll say, what are the impacts of pedagogical agents on learning? Do they help or hinder learning? I'll hit enter. It sends the API request to Mistral. It's going to answer pretty quickly, as you can see. And even Mistral Small is giving us some in-text citations here, right? All along the way as it goes. And this is a pretty great answer considering that it took, what, maybe 5 seconds total? Well, we can find out exactly how long it took. Oh, no, we can't. It doesn't tell us the amount of time. It just says the total number of tokens. But anyway, we have our information here. It's given us citations for its sources. And then down here, we can see which items in the vector database it actually referred to. And you can see that in this case, it referred to 12 different items. If you click it, it will bring up the content. And if you click the source, it'll actually open up your PDF file and scroll you to that section of it. So long story short, this is how you can connect the Mistral API to your Zotero database or any other folder full of papers that you have that you may want to reference. Again, this is using Mistral API. This is not local. Mistral does make models available locally. If you want to see how to do that, I have other videos talking about how to run local models with your Zotero. But a lot of people out there don't have really powerful GPUs. I have a moderate GPU, but I can't run like Mistral Small latest. I can't run that very quickly on my machine. It takes a substantial amount of time to run. So this is a great way for me to be able to leverage my full Zotero and my full paper database and still be able to chat with an LLM for free. So I hope this has been useful for you guys. If you have any questions or comments or have any ideas on how to make this better, please feel free to leave comments in the description. Otherwise, please like and subscribe to help support the channel. I like to do lots of videos on large language models, systematic review, meta-analysis, and pretty much anything else in relation to academia. Thank you guys and have a great day.